Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another devlog of my indie game Striking Gold. About 7 months ago, I started this journey on my very first indie game, and so far I'm relatively happy with the things that I have implemented into the game so far, but there's been one thing that I've heavily neglected up until this point, and I'm sure you've determined what that already is just by reading the title of this video. But today I am going to be showcasing to you guys how I transformed the HUD of my game. Just a friendly reminder before we get into the video that Striking Gold is available to Wishlist on Steam if you guys have not already done so, and it would help me out tremendously, so make your way over to the Steam page. The link to do so will be down below in the description. Now, I wasn't entirely sure how to approach this because I've never actually worked on a HUD before, as this is my very first indie game, so I kind of just threw everything into a visual file here and then slowly converted everything over one by one. I didn't go too overboard with it, but you know, the way that I approached it, it worked for me. I'm sure there's a better way to go about it, but overall it did work. So it took me about a week to try to figure out what visually looked good with the game, and then obviously it took quite a bit longer to actually get everything functioning as I had intended. Now, not only does this obviously visually make the game look a lot better, but I added some new buttons into the HUD that will allow the game to feel a lot better as well. And that's really what took a lot of my time trying to figure out how to implement and whatnot, and actually adding it to the game. So I'm going to go over everything that was added to the HUD and showcase to you what is now available in Striking Gold. So here's a better look at the HUD. You got a sneak peek in the last clip, but this is just a better view of it. This is probably going to be what the game looks like. I'll probably add some things here and there, maybe change some things around, who knows, but for now, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I don't want to ramble on too much about it. I mean, everything here is pretty much self-explanatory. You have the time down here at the bottom right. I removed the day, months and years, and now we just display the hour because that's the only thing in the current function of the game that actually matters. And then obviously down here at the bottom left we have our tools icon where you can select the building you want to build and whatnot. That's pretty much the same as last time. I do want to change some of these buttons out. I'm not too pleased with how they turned out, but for now they'll work. Now obviously, like the information buttons displayed above, the icons there, as well as if you clicked on a building, all of these they're still in a work in progress. I have not reworked any of these. Now the top HUD here has changed a little bit. As you can see, the name of the mining town is in the center there, and then on the right you have your resources, and then on the left is going to be additional information that will be useful to the player. So on the left here, there's not much at the moment. I do want to add a few things, but if you have any ideas of what can be displayed that's pretty useful, just let me know. Right now we have total miners that are assigned to the town, total NPCs that are assigned to your town, and then the value of your town as well. I do need to display happiness, but I do need to rework some things before I can add that. But let me show you the two new functions, the total miners and total NPCs. You can see I just added a sheriff there, and it added to that counter. And then if we add a miner and then increase our town value really quick, it should add another miner to the town as well. There it is. So now we have 2 miners and 3 total NPCs for the town. Again, let me know if there is anything else that you guys think I can add. Moving on to the top left of the HUD, this was probably the most difficult thing, well, one of the most difficult things to implement. This is basically the current NPC that you're interacting with and just giving you information about that NPC. So you can see here, this orb down here has a little briefcase. That is its current activity that it's doing. The one above that is its happiness. So if I decrease its happiness, it turns to a little sad face. And then if his happiness is high, it's a smiley face. So the one above that is the profession of the NPC. So if we click on the sheriff here, you can see a little sheriff badge. If we click back on the miner, he has a little mining icon. Now, this is different for the main character. If you recall, you can swap the activities of the main character from woodcutting and panning and mining. So For the main character, you used to have to click on the cabin to change that, but now you can simply click at the top there and he will change his different activity that he is currently doing. You cannot do that for any of the other NPCs at the moment. That is strictly for the main character. So the other two buttons at the top left are the favorite system. So if you want to favorite an NPC, you just simply click that and it will add it to the favorite slot, where it will also display the different icons that we just went over. And then the little information tab, if you don't know anything about a specific NPC and you want to learn more about it, a little information box that has yet to be worked on will pop up and just be explaining everything about that NPC that you would need to know about. Some additional new things that I added was the settings panel. So obviously every game needs a settings panel to change different things and whatnot. So at the top right here, you have your settings, which I'll go over this in a little bit, but for now, you also have some additional buttons that I've added. Obviously, the bulldoze button where you destroy buildings is still available. This new button here, this is the total amount of NPCs in the game. This way you can kind of move through each character and try to, see who's in the town and whatnot. And you might also notice that these NPCs now have names. So each character is generated a random name. That is the one thing I probably will end up changing on the top left, is just adding their names displayed. But here you can see all of their names, their profession, and then you can also favorite the characters from the NPC list here on the right side. With the addition of the character names in the game, I wanted a way to reward those who choose to support my channel. By the way, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by becoming a server member on my Discord server by clicking the server shop. And from here, you have 3 different tiers at the moment. And if you have a silver tier or higher, you are able to name an in-game character whatever you want, as long as it is appropriate. And that way, when the game is released, your named character will be showcased in the game. And then if you are a gold supporter, you'll actually receive a copy of Striking Gold as well once that is released. So again, if you guys want to support me and the channel, head on over to the Discord server and I would greatly appreciate it. Moving on to the next button, the notifications at the top right. As you can see, I just forced this notification that the town is running low on money, and you can see it on the top right here. It is another list that when you click on the button, it will showcase all of the past notifications, and then you can obviously hide it as well. So this in particular notification can actually be removed if you just get more money, but other notifications like the bank being robbed and whatnot, those will be stored here in this notifications log. So if you were AFK or missed something, you can go back in the log and kind of see what exactly happened previously. So I thought that was a cool addition as well. Let me know what you guys think. Just a small quality of life update I added. You can see here that the character that you spectate is now permanently highlighted while you are spectating him. That way, if you're zoomed out a further distance, it's kind of easier just to tell which character is actually being followed. So I thought that was a nice addition as well. Moving back to the settings icon that I mentioned previously, I'm going to showcase this to you guys now. Now this is still being worked on. This is going to take quite a bit of time to implement, specifically the save option. So if you go to your settings, obviously this opens up a menu. It pauses the game in the background, and then you can pick between these buttons. You can quit the game, go to the main menu, save options, and resume. So all of these do function other than the save I am currently trying to implement into the game. This is going to take quite a bit of time because I'm pretty far into the game now. This is something I probably should have kind of focused on early on in the game, but now I have to try to figure that out with all the variables I have. But these 2 buttons in the options do work. I do plan on adding more options. I'm not going to showcase this to you. Obviously, it's going to mess up the recording if I'm changing all of the resolution and whatnot, but this does work, just so you know, and you can swap between the resolutions and then the windowed mode respectfully. So that is an option that I've included. And then we also have a main menu as well. So this is just a quick little main menu I've added. At the moment, the new game and the load game, again, does not work until I get the save option to actually function accordingly. You can do the options from here, but if you click on new game from here, it's just going to load up the previously game that we already had, so it's not really a new game. These don't necessarily work, and they're not going to work until I have the save ability functional. But now when you do start the game, you will start at the main menu. So just some nice things that definitely have been neglected. I'm glad that this is in the game. It's crazy how much these small HUD additions actually make it feel more like a game rather than just, you know, a project. So let me know what you guys think of the HUD overall, and if there was anything that you think I should have added, please again let me know. I'm fully open to any suggestions that you guys may leave in the comment section below, and I would appreciate any feedback whatsoever. That's gonna wrap up this devlog though, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's not quite of an interesting devlog, not too much was added, but the HUD is definitely a significant change and did take quite some time to implement, so I definitely wanted to make this its own separate video. So let me know again, guys, any feedback down below in the comment section. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and don't forget to wishlist Striking Gold on Steam. This is a massive cactus, by the way.